That's not cool. Oh God, is that Forrest Gump? Life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Nope.
Speaking of which,
It's not what Forrest Gump. It's not what Forrest Gump played by the Amazing Tom Hanks actually said. If you listen clearly, he says life was like a box of chocolates. Not life is like.
no, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
We're trying to figure this shit out. My name's Mike. That's Cody. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, each generation next trouble. Oh my gosh. No, whatever it's supposed to do. I don't know if you can see that on there, but it didn't open up as far as I thought it would.
Hate 4,321. And we're back.
Jesus Christ.
And that was a big number. I know. I just couldn't resist.
Yeah.
So
So
take two.
part two. Yep. 2.0.
2.0.
We're back on the whole
Conspiracy
conspiracy
theory.
theory, fucking Mandela effect spiral.
I mean, dude, we get to talking about this kind of stuff, and it intrigues me more than I don't even know if you'd say. Some people are like, oh, that's stupid. I don't think it's stupid. I think it's interesting that people genuinely let this kind of stuff consume them. I don't. I think it's kind of funny. I think it's kind of cool. And I'm not sure why they named it after Nelson Mandela.
You want to know why?
Yeah.
Let's start with the reason we're all here. Nelson Mandela, who this theory is named after, died in 2013. However, countless people distinctly remember him dying in prison in 1980, but he never died.
Really?
Yep, but his death isn't the only example of the Mandela effect. We have been wrong about so many dates, details, and more. And then let's start off with number one.
Okay.
Jif peanut butter.
It was Jiffy.
Nope.
It's
People
always been
swear
Jiffy
there was
peanut
a
butter.
Jiffy peanut butter back in the day.
There was.
But we speculate there's combining Jif with the competitor Skippy. Because Skippy was a peanut butter.
It was, and so was Jiffy. Just saying.
We're starting with a bang.
Just
All right.
saying. I mean, I was
Number
a
two.
80s kid. It was Jiffy.
Spell Looney Tunes.
I'm not a speller.
Do
But
you
it was
remember
Looney.
it,
It was Looney. T-U-N. What is it? T-U-N-E-S.
That's the right way.
I mean, that's
But
the
people
way.
thought it was Toons as tune.
Oh, it was.
No, it was not.
It was.
It was always Looney Tunes.
No, I don't feel like it. Because, I mean, in my mind, people start talking about cartoons.
Here's one,
Okay.
here's one.
No, but wait a minute. Because people start talking about cartoons.
and it's Cartoons.
Right. But in my mind, Roger Rabbit, Bugs Bunny, Yosemite Sam,
Yep.
Elmer Fudd, like Pepe Le Pew,
Mm-hmm.
Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah.
Like that was real cartoons.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff, I mean, and yes, I was growing up in the whole, do you remember the Animaniacs?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
Warner Brothers.
Dude loved it. Pinky and the Brain.
Oh.
What are we
gosh.
going to do tonight, Brain? Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Some of this stuff that they've got out now, kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, probably about the most normal I can think of cartoon-wise would be Paw Patrol. It's really kind of dumb.
Family Guy.
That's super dirty though.
But it's a cartoon.
I know, but like
Rick and Morty. Love it.
uh,
You want to watch it?
Ren and Stimpy,
Oh, yeah. No, those were 90s cartoons.
Beavis and Butthead.
The 90s cartoons were different.
Shut up, dumbass.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay, so another one. Curious George never had a tail.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I don't care what they say. He's a monkey. Monkeys have tails, except for chimpanzees, and they never, ever, ever tried to say that Curious George was
Never
a
seen
chimpanzee.
I've never seen Oscar Mayer.
My baloney has a first name.
Spell it.
It's Oscar.
Yeah.
My baloney has a second name. It's Mayer.
Apparently, back in the day, people used to say it was Meyer.
No, it's Mayer.
I don't
I
know
love
what
to eat it every day, and if you ask me why, I'll say Oscar Mayer has a way with Bologna.
Skechers. Oh shit! There's no T in it.
Bullshit. Shut the front door. Yes, there is.
There's no T in Skechers.
Yes, there is.
I don't have
There's even a T in Snoop Dogg. Speaking of which, Snoop Dogg has a Sketcher. Did you know that?
Shaq does too, don't he?
No, Shaq's got.
Oh, he has his own brand.
Yeah, Shaq's got his.
He
own
signed a
pumps.
deal with Skechers, but then turned it down.
Back in the day, he was with the Reebok pumps, but.
Oh, here's your Fruit Loops.
Mm.
Kellogg had been spelling fruit like that for years. We only noticed it now.
Fruit.
F-R-O-O-T.
That's what it used to be,
Yep.
and that was for sure true. Like, why didn't I save some of this stuff? Like an old Fruit Loops box. Why couldn't a guy just walk up, grab an old Fruit Loops box, and go, "Look, people." Oh, don't do that. Don't give me that look. What's the next one?
Monopoly Man and his monocle. The eye?
Yeah, he always had it.
He doesn't have one.
Bullshit. See, this is the reason I spiral down wormholes.
There are.
He's always
This
had
and
his,
some
mono-
suggest
his-
might be a simple confusion between him and Planner's Peanuts, Mr. Peanut.
No, Mr. Peanut had one too.
And there's an ad for Blue Chew. Pikachu's tail.
Oh, Everett, here we go again.
Pikachu's tail. So many of us clearly remember black detailing.
It did. I mean, I don't even like Pokemon. I wasn't a Pokemon person. I mean, don't get me wrong, Everett. I like it. I do like it.
The hyphen in Kit Kat.
It had a dash, right? Stop it. Are you serious? Wow, there's so many more than I knew.
For the Loom logo,
Okay,
we
see?
talked about that
We
one.
did talk about
We
that.
talked about
because
that one.
They're saying that it didn't have the. I wish I could think of what that thing was called.
Oh,
Was it the Horn of
it says
Plenty? Or
there used to be a cornucopia behind the fruit,
Cornucopia. That's what it
but
was
there's
called.
not.
Yes, there was.
Cheez-Its.
No, you're not.
Cheez-It. There is no Z or S. It's Cheez-It.
No, it's Cheez-Its.
We swear there used to be an extra Z at the end.
There was.
Well, there wasn't.
No, this place is saying there wasn't. Dude, I just looked at your phone. Did that say Oreo?
Yep.
And what are they trying to say about Oreos?
Double stuff. Double stuffed Oreos?
Double stuff.
If you're trying to tell us there isn't a second F in stuff, our lives have officially been a lie. There was no F. There was still only one F in stuff. Double stuffed Oreos.
Stuff. Always.
Your face.
It's screwing me up because
Bro, look at
I'm not a speller.
Yeah,
So,
but I've always said double stuffed.
and my wife is a grammar Nazi. I love you, babe, but you are. And she will always do that. Oh my God. Are we talking about the Mona Lisa?
There's a lot of theories behind this one, but so many people have claimed that she used to have a more obvious smile, but she never did.
No, the Mona Lisa's. I got to be honest. I know it's art, and I know that's super famous, but the Mona Lisa's ugly.
You want to see this one now?
I don't think so.
Even the biggest Star Wars fans and Halloween costume sites get it wrong. The robot isn't all gold. He had one silver piece on his right leg.
He did not. He did not. Are we talking about C-3PO? He did not. He did not have any. He may have. No, wait a minute. Not originally, but he may have in one of these newer episodes because he got beat up and he got ripped apart. And if you remember correctly, I don't remember which movie it was, but Chewbacca carried him, remember?
Yeah.
Carried him on his back, and C-3PO wouldn't shut up, and Chewbacca got annoyed with him. And it was like his arms were hanging out, his legs were hanging out, they ripped him apart.
Yeah.
So, yes, they may have put him back together and he had a different, but originally, that dude, I'm not looking at that.
The Flintstones
No,
has
stop it.
2 T's. Flint Stones, not Flintstones.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. 2 T's.
I don't know.
Flint, Stone.
Well, apparently people were saying Flintstones.
Oh, no.
The Flintstones.
No, I won't. I can't get on board with that one. I thought there was going to be something about his yabba dabba doo, and they were trying to say that wasn't right. That's not cool. Oh God, is that Forrest Gump? Life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
No.
Speaking of which,
It's not what Forrest Gump. It's not what Forrest Gump played by the Amazing Tom Hanks actually said. If you listen clearly, he says life was like a box of chocolates. Not life is like.
no, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And I'm telling you, dude, as I live and breathe. Speaking of which, while we're on that subject, before we go to the next one, have you ever watched Stoner Gump
No.
on TikTok?
No.
Oh my God. So this guy he lives in Missouri. I'm pretty sure he lives in Carthage, Missouri at that. This dude's a pothead.
Yeah.
And he likes to go like super over the edge, thousands of milligrams at a time. And he calls them of broccoli calories because he'll get banned from TikTok if he starts talking about the
Weed.
whole THC and all that. So he calls them that's what he calls it, hippie calories. And he makes all this, like, you know how you make pot butter or whatever. A bunch of my buddies back in high school used to do it. So he calls it broccoli infused instead of THC infused. Dude cracks me up. Is that Mr. Rogers?
Yeah, some of these are weird.
Well, Mr. Rogers was weird. But here's my deal. Okay, now that you brought him up,
Mhm.
I always heard back in the day that Mr. Rogers was like covered,
No, he was.
bleeding out in tattoos,
That's just like Steve from Blue's
and was
Clues.
in the Marine Corps. And, dude,
It's
I read a
professional
deal that
coaches.
totally debunked that. That was a made up deal. He was not in the Marine Corps. He was not like some decorated badass like they made him out to be. Which kind of stands to reason. Mr. Rogers was just a good dude.
Well, that's like they say Steve from Blue's Clues was the same way.
Steve.
Like, you know, back when Blue's Clues first come out.
I don't think I ever watched Blue's Clues. I'm
He
not sure my
he had left the show. Ran, like, just all of a sudden had to leave the show. He was in the military.
Special Forces.
Well, fucking tatted.
Shut
But he
up.
always wore like the turtleneck shirt and like
Really?
and the undershirt and like the green shirt and everything tatted. And I guess he was a bad
So this
motherfucker.
dude talked to a cartoon dog that wasn't really there,
Mm-hmm.
and then climbed on a C-130 with some night vision and kicked some ass.
This might spark some interest.
No, don't give me a good one.
If you saw Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, you probably remember Darth Vader uttering the famous line, "Luke, I am your father." Father.
You're farther?
In the pivotal
He said,
scene near
"Luke,
the
I'm
end of the
further away."
film. You might be surprised to learn then that the line was actually, "No, I am your father."
No.
Most people have memories of the line being the former rather than later.
Well, that's
Luke,
because that's
I
what it
am your
was.
father.
Luke, I am your father. That's what he says.
Oscar Mayer, we already talked about that one.
So it's
The
what are they
Berenstain
trying to
Bears.
say? That
He
said-
didn't say Luke, he said, "No, I am your father." And
No.
people thought he said Luke.
No, he said, Luke, I am your father.
Let's see. Pikachu, talked
I
about
know
that.
because I've said
Mickey
that
Mouse
into a
is
box
suspenders.
fan my whole life. Did you ever do that when you were a kid?
What?
Start up a box fan and talk into the back of it?
Oh,
and be
yeah.
like, Luke, I am your father.
Oh, yeah. Jiffy Peanut Butter, Curious George. Apparently, that's an old book photo. And there's no tail.
They changed it.
CGI, ladies and gentlemen.
They did that just to mess with us.
Fruit Loops.
Curious George has always had a tail. He's a monkey. He's not a primate.
Play It Again, Sam.
Play It Again, Sam. What about him?
It's one of the most famous films.
Huh?
Play It Again, Sam. Unfortunately, if you are familiar with that line, you may be confused to learn that it was never actually said in that exact way in the film. However, to say "Play It Once, Sam," adding the confusion, it may be Woody Allen made the film in 1972 called "Play It Again, Sam," and that's how they got confused. It's a Beautiful Day Where. Can we already talk about that one? They're all, I mean, I've been scrolling. They're all kind of the same thing. I mean, a lot of it is, they say the Mandela effect about things is when you get older, you forget small details and you say, oh, no, it's this, but they've changed labels over years. I mean, it's.
I mean, a perfect example is that Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
It says that in the movie clearly. It doesn't say, no, I'm your father.
Right.
It says Luke. I've said it my whole life into box fans. And I mean, bought the little voice changers. Luke, I am your father.
Oh, yeah.
Just to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't. So here's the other question. What's the purpose for that? Why do they do that kind of stuff? Why is that out there?
The Mandela effect?
Yeah, why?
It also, like I said, the Mandela effect all started when they assumed he was dead in prison, but he never died.
But what are they trying to? What are they trying to gain?
The Mandela
by
effect,
bringing that kind of stuff up.
I feel like a lot of the Mandela effect is from, like I said, we get older, logos change. I mean, just saying, a year from now,
Blue Chew could have a new logo
next to ours. I mean, we could be a proud sponsor of Blue Chew, but and I'm hashtagging Blue Chew in this, but
really,
I'm just gonna tag them in it, but logos change and update.
Right.
I'm sure the logo from where we work at's not the same when they started.
But why would they argue the fact that it was never one way when clearly?
Because different generations, they grew up with. Your generation grew up with that thing in the background of the Fruit of the Loom. When I got older, it wasn't there. They could have changed the logo, but you're like, no, it was this, and I'm like, bullshit, it's this. But they don't announce when they change logos. They don't have to.
Right.
I feel like that's kind of part of the Mandela effect, and maybe it was we as humans, our brains they're all the same, but they're all different.
Oh,
like,
everybody's wired different.
Oh, yeah, everyone's wired different, but sometimes you think the same. Because there's been times we've been at work and I've said something, and you're like, son of a bitch, I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
But we weren't even talking about it.
Right.
And I'm like, see, I think at some way we're all on one. Like, you ever seen those radio, like off the movies, the radio fucking wavelengths, and they're all they're trying to match them up? There's that one random fucker. I think that one random fucker is like every human's brain.
That Rain Man.
But then all the other ones are your specific brain.
Right.
But it's like, I feel like, because there's been sometimes I've been talking to my old lady and she's like, babe, I literally just thought about that. And I'm like, what? And she was like, it just popped in my head before you even started fucking talking. And I'm like, oh, so you're powered like Facebook. But I mean,
he said it.
I don't fucking care. But yeah, like, it's weird because there's probably things from when you were a kid that now to me I'm like, it's never fucking looked like that. And you're like, the fuck it has not. I mean, like, you could probably pick out something that we both know, and I'll be like, that they're the same look, the same name, but different logos.
Right.
And you're like, no, it's been the same logo the whole time. And maybe your brain still sees that Fruit of the Loom as having that basket.
Well, I just remember as a kid, it's not so much that that one really stuck out in my head. Purely for the reason that back when I was super young, my dad always wore just the plain white t-shirt underneath his whatever shirt he was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
My dad always wore, because he was a concrete man.
Yep.
And worked his ass off.
You always wear two shirts.
He always wore two shirts. So that way, if he sweated through that first one.
You got two more in the car.
Yeah, if he sweated through that first one, he could take them both off, put the outer one on.
Yep.
And he wasn't completely soaked because you know as well as I do, you worked in construction. Dude, chafing is a real thing.
God. You have to buy stock and baby powder.
Yeah, and that, what's that new stuff out now? It's like man cream or something.
Manscaped?
No, I've not tried
If they want to sponsor us.
I mean,
I do use your, anti-chafing ball wipes, and good lord, they're awesome.
Well, no, it's like the dude butter or cream or whatever, and it's supposed to keep you cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have that back in the day.
No, you just you walk in the or you walk by the bathroom in the hotel when the guys are in there getting ready for work, and you see
Baby powder,
and it's just a cloud of it.
Or,
Like fucking
I'm not even gonna lie.
anthrax dust.
I can remember when I was a kid, I'd go out, get in my dad's work truck, and there was always a tube of Desitin. That white zinc cream.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Dad, this is for babies. He goes, no, buddy.
Diaper ice cream.
He goes, that's for your balls.
I
I'm
will
like,
say.
well, yeah, but it's for babies. He goes, no. When you do my kind of work and you're working out in 110-degree heat and you're sweating all day, he's like, that's for the undercarriage to keep you from getting galded. Oh,
I wore the harness that went between my legs.
That bad boy.
And
you raw.
you'd be surprised. Most convenience store gas stations, they carry diaper rash cream with diapers.
Yeah,
they don't carry
monkey butt.
They don't carry baby powder much anymore.
Right.
Baby powder's kind of fading out because diaper rash cream's a thing. I will gladly say I have rubbed diaper rash cream just
oh yeah
and just lathered it because it lasts. I mean, but like I ain't scared to talk about it. Save my ass because there's no worse coming.
Literally save
your ass. But yeah, it's how the fuck are we on this subject?
I don't know, something to do with I don't know, the labels changing.
Oh yeah. But I mean, the Mandela effect is and then like a lot of those were the same thing. But I've watched TikTok videos and YouTube videos and watched a lot of things about. Oh God. Okay, so we're going down this wormhole. Did you know? On a Nintendo NES, you know, the old school Nintendo NES, you played Mario Duck Hunt thing?
Yeah.
Did you know when you died at the last thing, if you hit the start button and A, you respawn back where you died? You'd have to start all the way over.
On original Nintendo, if you died, you hit what?
So, like, when you had, like, 3 lives, and you lost all 3 lives, and you hit life 0, you hit the start button and A before you go back to the main screen, and it will take you back with new lives where you left off.
Nuh-uh.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many times I played the first 10 episodes or three?
Yeah, like the first world, you're just repeating
3
it.
worlds, I repeated them, sons of bitches.
I saw that today. I haven't tested it out, but I saw it today.
We have one of the little NESs.
No, this is original. Original hardware,
with
original
the cartridge,
cartridge.
you push down.
You know,
oh, totally aware.
and then you gotta stick it in there and jiggle it.
so
push it up to the top.
I got a funny. So when I was a kid, I've always had weird pets.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a parrot or a ferret. I've had
a parrot named Ferret.
I had a parrot that looked like a ferret. No, I've had ferrets. I've had I've had lizards. I caught one time when me and my dad were camping a bull snake.
I thought you didn't like that shit.
I love snakes.
Oh,
love them.
But
my
spiders,
my wife's scared to death. I hate those 8-legged bastards.
Oh, okay. I knew there was something you.
Oh, make my skin crawl. So my wife's that way with snakes, like I am with spiders. But we had a Nintendo. Like we were uptown. We thought we were the shit.
Yep.
We had a Nintendo. Not everybody had one. My dad, that was like, I think that was probably the best Christmas ever. Well, my sister had just started dating her first husband. Not gonna go into that. Yeah. So she'd started dating him, and he'd come over. I'm currently at this point. I'm with my dad. We're out of town. We're down seeing my grandparents, and this was when we lived in the city. So I'd have been in like the 4th or 5th grade.
Yeah.
And the Nintendo was in my room because I was the one that played it more than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. I'm not a gamer, but I was the gamer before there was really gamers.
Yeah.
And they're playing Super Mario Brothers, him and my sister. And this is before my oldest nephew. So to tell you how long ago this has been, let's don't talk about age. My oldest nephew is over 30. So this has been 30 years ago. At least. And
damn.
My sister freaked out. She thought a python was loose in my room.
Mm-hmm.
Called him freaking out. This dude comes over with a machete. Like he's gonna destroy this massive beast. I was never so pissed off in my whole life. I mean, 5th grade, what are you, 10, 11 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah, he threw my snake in the sewer drain. Dude, I had the coolest, like, easy going, chill bull snake on the planet. Had a cage for him. I had got the latch good. And when my sister was in there playing Nintendo, she caught it with her foot, opened up, he crawled out, she freaked out, called him, they killed my snake, threw it in the sewer drain.
Heartbroken.
Oh, killed me.
It's like when you fucking kill my goldfish.
I mean, I did have to send a couple to their death like a naval officer in the toilet. Oh, we did. We saluted and everything right before we hit the little chrome handle.
And then I took
to
a shit.
send him on his way. Yeah.
And then I sent it with a turd.
Yeah, it was a bad deal. But the whole, like, I loved Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
I assure you, if I still had that back, I think that's another one of them Mandela effect things.
I don't know.
The start and A button. Like, if somebody that's got a real Nintendo, not like the Nintendo NES or whatever.
That's what it is.
No, it's not. The one I have at home looks like a real Nintendo, and it says Nintendo NES or whatever, but it's got a whole bunch of games already preloaded on
So
it.
you mean to tell me the original Nintendo was not called a Nintendo NES?
It just said Nintendo on it. That's all it said. It didn't say NES.
Mandela effect.
Yeah, it never said. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm 46 years old. That bitch did not say NES anywhere on it. It just said Nintendo across the little door that closed over the cartridge you stuck in and kicked down. So the one I have at home, it doesn't have a cartridge. It doesn't even have a spot for it. It's just a little box, and they're all preloaded on there. That whole start and A thing may work on them, but if I could find somebody, yeah, it doesn't say NES on it. It says Nintendo.
Nintendo NES.
I don't care what this description says. I'm talking on the console itself. It just said Nintendo, and it had the cool little door that opened up, and the cartridges you blew in and slid in and pushed down. If it says NES on it, I'm gonna lose my shit because I don't remember it saying that ever.
Nintendo NES Classic Edition.
Yeah, but I mean, physically saying it on the gaming console, it did.
Oh, well, no.
That's what I'm saying. So when they come out with the NES, I just figured that was the one that had all the games preloaded on it. And
I'm currently looking.
that's fine. You look away.
Oh, Sega.
Oh, I had a Sega Genesis. I'll never forget that's another game that I think I could have been a serious gamer in the current days. Mortal Kombat.
Oh, God.
There was nothing better than get over here. Or if you fought
Because, hey, it's called Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not much of a Mandela effect. It's just
Yeah.
it's called the
Nobody ever
Nintendo
said-
NES because Nintendo Entertainment System.
Nobody ever said
No, not back
NES
then. No,
back then.
no.
That's why I was like, the NES is the new one that's already preloaded.
But that is considered the OG is the NES is because it's Nintendo Entertainment
Dude,
System.
I'm old enough. I played on Atari. Like, not even lying. We used to go to my Uncle D and Aunt Virginia's, and I'll never forget it.
Pong,
Frogger,
Asteroid.
Joust, and Pitfall were my favorites. Well, I say that. I like Donkey Kong, too. And Pong. I like
Donkey
it.
Kong was on Atari.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Oh, the original.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Donkey Kong, Pitfall, Joust,
Mhm.
where you were on like the little...
Horse.
No, it was a ostrich. It was a guy on an ostrich with a pole.
Really?
Yeah, it was super cool. Oh, that was freaking fun.
Wasn't the Asteroids Atari too?
I don't remember. Yeah, I think so.
Where you spin in a
Asteroids.
circle with a fucking
The-
triangle and you shoot the asteroids?
Yeah, it wasn't until Nintendo you had the one with the... What was that on the movie Pixels? With the big
Donkey Kong.
caterpillar-looking thing?
Oh, you're talking. Oh, yeah.
That one was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
we had to shoot the heads of them, and they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to kill it before it got to you, and it was through all them little deals. That was fun.
Yeah.
But I think that was on Nintendo. I don't think that was on Atari. Man, Dude, that's like flashbacks talking about that. Had so much fun on Atari. We'd go over to my Uncle D and Aunt Virginia's, and they lived in like a split level house.
Yeah.
And my Uncle D was the epitome. Like when I was a kid, he was the epitome of cool. Because my mom's whole side of the family, which are all, like my uncles were the coolest guys ever. They were all Vietnam vets and like all just badasses. Like man's man. My Uncle Frank could have played baseball for the Royals if he hadn't got hurt. Like he was, and he owned a ball field when I was growing up, so we'd go hang out at the baseball. Speaking of which, that's probably the reason I'm a baseball junkie. Like, played baseball. He owned a ball field in Kansas City, so we'd go over and I'd work in the concession stand and all that stuff. But my Uncle D was like the man's man. Nobody on my mom's side of the family drank. Nobody cussed. They didn't say fart because it sounded too much like fuck.
Really?
Oh yeah, like super churchy,
Fart that.
which was not. No, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. 'Cause
No,
it was
no.
great. My mama, when she was alive, she could find the good in the devil himself.
Really?
Like this woman had a heart like nothing I could even explain. I have her tattooed on me.
Speaking of that, I seen a thing on the internet. It was on a video, and I like kind of spiraled down the wormhole. Something about the whole 666 thing. You know,
Mark of the Beast.
yeah,
Yeah.
But you know, they say like, what was it about? The human body requires 6 different things, like 6 from one category, 6 from one category, and 6 from one category to function.
Yeah, it's still the devil.
But they say like it was one of those things, and I'm not questioning Christianity, whatever. It was like, is the human being after the God did the whole? We're not making this churchy. You know how I listened to that deal, and he wiped everything off. Was it him that brought us back, or was it the other 666 because you required 6 of each of these things?
Yeah, no.
No, it was just I'll send it to you. I'm taking a Joe Rogan piss break.
Okay, go Pete.
He's all on you.
But no, it was like we were talking about it, and where was I at? Oh, my mom. She could find the good in the worst person on the planet. But that whole side of the family was, I think they were my constant. They were what I thought of as family, as good, genuine, homey people. Because we weren't really super close with my dad's side of the family. Are you shaking that more than twice?
Oh, feel peeing, dog.
Oh, okay. But my Uncle D was like the man's man.
I'm drinking the water.
Well, be careful, you'll get it on your finger.
All right, it's not a snake.
Yeah. The spinning cobra.
I'm draining the pinky toe brain. Or vein.
But like my Uncle D, he was the guy that always had a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, always ran the grill, even though they weren't real okay with it, always had a Miller Lite in his hand. So we go over to his house. His garage is full of hats.
Really?
And I think that's the reason why I have an obsession with ball caps now. You walk in his garage, the walls, the ceiling, everything was covered in hats. Always had a fridge full of beer. Just gonna say, he died of cirrhosis of the liver. This man liked his beer.
My man.
He was the coolest.
I can be your hero, baby.
He kind of was. I mean, my dad will always be my hero, but my Uncle D was like,
Your dad's a fucking hoot.
he was like a smooth second.
Shout out to the head cleaner.
Yeah, the head cleaner, he's good. But my Uncle D was just that cool old dude. Like, just smoked cigarettes, drank beer, man's man type guy.
Yeah.
But he had the Atari.
Oh.
Yeah. So you go to his house, it's like, and they lived in a split level house and had a den right off of the garage, and then you went upstairs to the kitchen. You could blindfold me and take me to that house right now, and I could walk you through that whole thing. Even though I didn't grow up in it, I always thought it was so cool when we go over there. Because my
The way it
cousins,
was laid out.
yeah,
Yeah.
you walked out of the garage into the den, and that's where the Atari was at. That's where they always sent us kids. Because when I was a kid, it was kids are meant to be seen, not heard. Get your asses down in the den, play your game, whatever. We're having adult time. Shut up.
Yeah.
except for my Uncle D. He was like, you can come out here with me. So that's what I try to be. Like with my nephews, I want them to know they can't do no wrong. I mean, they can, but not to me. And I just want to be that cool uncle that, like, well, with my kids too. I want to be that dad that's like, all right, cool. You want to do that? Probably shouldn't, but we're gonna.
I know, and we get in trouble for that shit.
Yeah, well, you got to pick your battles.
But you got to make memories.
And I've always found out it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yep. It's the motto my grandpa lived by.
Yeah. You just have to be at the
You
end
got
of
to pick and choose.
At the end of the day, I think if you do everything with a good heart, you're set.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't envy you. Yours are all girls.
Yeah.
Wow.
These fucking snacks are
That's
good.
heavy.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's.
That's heavy.
But
to
the
have
cool
all
thing
girls.
is like.
You're probably really good at doing hair, aren't you?
Yeah.
You can make a mean ponytail.
Right.
Can you braid?
I've tried.
But can you French braid?
No.
Me either.
Mm-mm.
And I tried. My wife showed me. My wife taught hair.
Like my kids, I could tell them we're gonna go play in the mud. And they're like, all right.
That's awesome.
And then I could be like, oh shit, I dropped a snack. And then I could be like, hey, like we're gonna go do this. Like, Hayden bugged me for years. Dad, I really want to go duck hunting. I really want to go. I'm like, so if it's muddy, it's cold, it's nasty, bloody, a little bit. Oh god.
Yeah.
But like, fucking kid was right there, laying in a layout blind.
That's cool.
Shut ducks and geese. Dogs brought them back up, and she's just. I have a picture. She's just fucking holding them, and I'm like, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Because like everyone's like, well, that's a father and son moment. I'm like, bullshit. That's
a father. That's my daughter moment.
Like, because I've always thought it was cool. I've seen hunting videos of people with their daughters, and they take their daughters out, and they're like, oh look, she's wearing the pink camo. I'm like, no, my daughter's in that shit. I mean, like she's in it. Like Hayden was laying on the frozen ground, and she was walking through mud, and fucking props to her.
Pockets full of hot hands.
That child had COVID before COVID.
Really?
Sicker than shit. Puked the whole way up there. And I was like, so do we need to go back home? I'll take you back home. No, I want to go. All right. So we're in the so I had her lay in the layout blind. No, it's all insulated. Yes, she had a big old jacket on and
Pockets full of hot hands.
4 layers of clothes, and she even brought a blanket because she wasn't shooting. I mean,
Right.
She brought a
wanted to go to
blanket.
watch.
And I gave her my phone. I was like, watch whatever you want to watch on YouTube. We're going to set decoys, break eyes. And she's like, Dad, when do I need to be quiet? I'm like, so shush. Because that's what dads do. Shush.
Yeah.
And then she hears them, and you can. It was weird because she heard them, and her blind's next to me.
And she'll never
And
forget
her
this.
eyes just. And she's looking, and she's just like, Dad, and I'm like, shush. Because ducks can't hear with shit.
Right.
But they can see you. And I'm like, so don't move. And she's like, okay. And then I was like, well, when I tell you to, cover your ears. She's like, okay. And then it was like one of those, whenever you, like, most time you said take them, it's cover them. That's what we kept saying, was cover them. And she just, and then boom, boom,
Really?
boom, boom, boom. And she saw him hit the ground. And then all of a sudden you just see her blind open up. She sits up and goes, oh, yeah. I mean, like, she was excited.
Did you use her as a bird dog? Let her go run out and grab him?
No. That's what we had Drake for.
Yeah.
But shout out to Drake. He just had his last hunt the other day. I bet you that was sad for my brother.
Oh, he passed away, or did they just
No,
retire?
he's old. He's what, 8, 9.
Oh God.
And that dog, boy. You want some snacks?
I mean, they look pretty good.
You want some snacks? Shout out to all these Cheez-Its.
It's
But,
cheap Cheez-Its.
They taste good. No, he's getting to that age. He has a lot of miles on him. I think Lucas took him out for his last hoorah. Speaking of, you ever watched that video about Tony Vandermoort's dog?
No.
Rough? Oh, God. You want a tearjerker?
No, honestly, what I'm thinking the whole time, you hand me that box of Cheez-Its,
It disappeared.
they may have disappeared behind that. No, what I'm thinking the whole time,
If you put a box up on the wall, so you're...
just reach in here, watch this. I'm going to go in. Cheese it. It's magic. No.
It's magically delicious.
The only thing I'm thinking the whole time is I watch those TikToks of the little Orient. Is this politically correct to call them Orient?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say a little Chinaman. That's not politically, but they're eating all that food, and they're like the slurping noises and stuff that they do.
Who said it to me?
Oh, it's gross. Like, I don't want to be, if you hear slurping noises or me crunching, I am sorry. But go ahead. It's so wrong. But then,
Well, that's how I've watched my kids the other day. I was walking through the house and I was like, "What are you watching?" And they're watching the people play with slime, and I hear stretching it out.
sounds like a boot stuck in the only winter.
Right? I mean,
Thank God they're watching slime videos and not the other
but
tube videos.
yeah.
Nothing off the hub.
Oh God.
Yeah, pretty much.
We have. This is. This is.
I gotta be honest, this is my favorite episode so far. Or two-part episode.
Yeah, part 2. Take 2.
Yeah, deuce. Whatever. I don't
Deuce?
know.
I mean, I don't have to
taking a deuce. Dose.
taking a deuce. All right.
Dose. But yeah,
I was informed, by the way, the more that we drink, the funnier that we are. So
I mean, I always look funny. I just try to be funny.
yeah.
No,
No.
this could be like, in my mind, this could be like our Protect Our Parks episodes. For anybody that watches Joe Rogan,
No.
oh, you need to. He has a whole series, like spin-off series, with Ari Shaffir, Shane Gillis, and Mark Norman, I believe. And it's the Protect Our Parks episodes. And so it all started because they got to talking. They were all four on there one day, and they were talking about some park, I think, in New York.
Yeah.
And they were going to do an episode and donate all this money to save this, or to protect this park. Because they were talking about building condos or something in it. Dude, it is a full-blown shit show. Like, they get hammered drunk. They were smoking weed. They were doing all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, oh, my God. And it's one of them you don't quite want to watch, but you can't look away. Kind of like a train wreck.
No.
Oh, it's hilarious. Like, there's no stopping on those episodes. So this could be our Protect Our Parks. We're eating Cheez-Its, we're drinking beer, we're talking about random shit. But it's fun. Like, I look forward to this shit every week. This is my getaway. I don't have to be a dad. I don't have to be a husband. I mean, the moonshine helps. But we can hang out in the hunting cabin. Don't backwash. We don't want to. What even just really?
When you hit it with a Cheez-It flavor.
No. I was like instantly thought you had a
You
little.
think you could use that as milk for cereal?
I'm just gonna say this. I hope my father-in-law watches this episode.
Yes, Scott.
So we've talked about the whole elk hunting. And we go elk hunting. Well, for anybody that lives on caffeine like most of America does, when you get up in the mountains, you can't just carry Red Bull
Shout out to Alani.
or Alani or Monster or any of that stuff 10,000 feet in elevation in the mountains with you. Like, you have to pack according to what you need. You can't just pack a whole bunch of cans of shit. So
Is this the coffee story?
we pack coffee. We pack those little single shot, little tubes like the water flavoring of coffee. Well, I'm kind of a bitch. When it comes to coffee, I gotta have sugar and creamer. So I have all the little sugar packets, thrown in my Ziploc bag or my dry bag. We get all the way up on top of the mountain and realize nobody brought coffee creamer. Like, I remembered to bring coffee. My father-in-law remembered to bring coffee. We don't even expect Chappie. We just bring shit. Because Chappie, literally, we could be on the mountain for 10 days, and that old man will pull an orange out of his ass. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know how he got it up there. And you'll look over and he'll be sitting on a log eating an orange, and I'm like, where the hell did that come from? Dude, I can't even make it up. We were sitting in Spike Camp one night, mind you, on top of the mountain, a full 2 days from civilization, and he pulls out a package of tortillas and a package of cheddar brats. And I went, like that confused 90-degree dog look, like, where the hell did that come from? This dude packed brats somehow in his frame pack to the top of the damn mountain. And it's those better than cheddar, already cooked, so all I can do is warm them up. He throws them on this little grill we got on our little makeshift fire pit, because it was technically, Colorado was under a burn ban, but we had a good dirt patch and a little fire. There's not any game warden's going to come up to 10,000 feet, so not too worried about it.
Yeah.
But we had hot dogs wrapped in tortillas that night, and I'm like,
It's probably heaven, wouldn't it?
oh, best thing you've ever ate. You eat freeze-dried, like mountain food for 3 or 4 days, something hot that's not reconstituted, like didn't used to be powder. Oh my God, it's so good. We're eating cheddar brats, but I look over and this dude's eating an orange, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? So when it comes to coffee, I just, assume we got everything. We get up there, we pull the coffee out. Me and my father-in-law are both warming water up. I got the sugar, and I look, and I'm like, shit, I ain't got no creamer. I gotta have creamer.
Yeah.
And, but I did. I don't even know if you've seen them. But this beautiful bottle, they make them in airplane bottles too. Them little bitty ones.
The little shooters.
And I may or may not have stuffed 3 in my little side pouch in my frame pack. That's the best freaking coffee creamer on the planet. And you might get a little buzz too. First thing in the morning, 4 o'clock, sun ain't even up.
What's that called? Is it called a
Hot toddy? But that's with whiskey, I think.
Yeah, and it's tea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it
coffee. But yeah, we kind of had hot toddies per se. I just had a banana pudding coffee.
Yeah.
Because I got up knowing we were going to have to walk all the way across this flat top. And when I say all the way across it, I'm talking, it's a solid 3 miles from where we spike camp to where we were planning on hunting that morning. And I ain't lying. 4 days in, it's a struggle. It's a struggle to get the motivation to get your ass out of that tent, grab your bow, and take off walking, knowing that you're going to walk 3-4 miles and you might not see anything. And
that to me would be more exciting than going to a fucking ranch.
It tests every bit of resolve that you have in you.
It's like a. I was thinking back, you know how people hold their like wine glasses and
I
they.
have something to hold my phone.
I'm just gonna.
See, that's why I got the fancy one.
Hello.
I can just lean back.
Yeah.
But no, after being on the mountain that many days,
Yeah.
that's where you have to dig deep. Am I gonna get my ass out of bed? Am I gonna go try this? Even though 2 or 3 setups now in the last 4 days have failed, do I still have it in me to try one more time? And I did. And I did what most guys say. That's a fine line right there. Some people won't take that shot. Some people take that shot. Some people have extreme success with it, and some don't. I took a frontal shot on a bull elk, looking right at me at 41 yards. I watched the Fletches bury, dude, right in the mane on his neck. Watched that Luminoc disappear right in it, and I'm like, he's done. Celebrated, not gonna lie, cried a little bit, because it still is. It was then, and it still is now as a life goal.
Yeah.
If I could kill a bull elk, hell, if I could kill any elk, because we'd already made that pact before we went up the mountain. I'm like, the first one that's in bow range and I have a good shot, I'm taking it. I've waited 6 years to get this tag. I don't want to go home, because at the end of the day, the meat is the trophy.
Yeah.
The horns are a bonus.
Yep.
And the day before that, I had a cow at 32 yards laying down. Come to draw, couldn't shoot her laying down. Just ethically, it wasn't right. She stood up, and I'm trying to get positioned, and I couldn't get a good shot. And I took a couple of steps, and a calf was with her, and it stood up and ran her off. And as she ran off, a bull got up behind her and ran off with her. And I'm like, oh God, there it was. Like, that was the package deal. And they're gone. So I was on the struggle bus that night anyway, before we went to bed, whether I even had it in me to hunt one more day or not. We get there, I shoot him at 40 yards, knew I made a good shot. A storm starts to come in. We go over and look where he was standing. Dude, it looked like somebody had taken a 3-gallon bucket of blood and just chucked it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, as he turned around, he was spraying. And I'm like, that bull's done. He's done. I got him. We're good. We sat down. We talked. We cried. We laughed. It was like an emotional roller coaster. And he's like, all right, let's go get your bull. We start following the blood trail. And every time he would stop, you could see where he would turn and like watch his back trail. He could hear us following him. And he kept looking. And every time he'd look, it would squirt off of the blood trail. So we stopped. We sat down. We didn't want to wait too long because there was a storm coming in. Pushed him.
Yeah.
Ended up pushing him down into what they call a bog. And it's a valley coming off of the side of the mountain. And there's a natural spring coming out of it. And dude, it's like walking on a green, mushy trampoline. We could have went down in there. We probably wouldn't have got out.
Yeah.
Lost blood at that point. Pretty sure he went down in it, but couldn't guarantee it. And this was, I watch it on the Outdoor Channel all the time. And they're like, last day of the hunt, last day this, last day that. And I'm like, you guys just do that for TV ratings. This was literally our last day to hunt because we had a full day of packing everything down off the mountain to base camp, to pack everything up and get out that day to go back to civilization.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get him. Like, I can relive that hunt in my mind until I die. And to this day, I didn't get my hands on him, but I did kill an elk. I know I did.
And that arrow was in his chest.
I know I made a good shot. I know he died. I know he didn't die where he should have. At one point in time, through the blood tracking part of it, we did come up on a bed, had fresh shit in it, had a blood clot. And that's where I kind of made peace with it, and so did my father-in-law. Usually, he would have been laying where that blood clot was if we'd have left it and backed out and left him laying. With the storm coming in, and we'd had the first 3 days was nothing but rain. If we'd have backed out, and knowing what I know now, it didn't end up raining hard. We could have had a blood trail. We'd have found him. He'd have been laying right there. But at the time, we couldn't take that chance.
Yeah.
We did 3 days of monsoon. Like, it rained its ass off. If it would have rained like that, we wouldn't have even known which direction to go.
Yeah.
So, I can safely and comfortably say I've killed a bull elk. I don't know how the hell we just got on that conversation or how I spiraled down that wormhole, but that's probably the most emotional hunt I've ever been on in my whole life.
We'll play the song In the Arms of an Angel.
We just went from the Mandela effect and conspiracy theory.
See, this is
my
what's
elk
fun though. Is like, what's it? And I get him in this. In okay, so what I'm getting at is, we were at work today, and you brought it up. You're like, I want to talk about conspiracy theory shit, and I'm like, all right. I love having an agenda. For people who watch this that I've ever contemplated, they're like, oh, I could start a podcast. Like, for instance, my old lady's stepdad, he asked about it. What do you need to do? What software do you need? What equipment do you need? You don't really need a lot. I mean, we're slowly upgrading as we go. We started out with a $70 Amazon camera.
We did.
And with some fine tweaking and editing, I made it work. The longer we've gone on, I've learned more.
I feel like this,
But like
we're at peak.
you
potential
don't
right
have
now.
to have a fucking $1 million studio. And so we go into this, he's always like, well, what do you want to talk about? And I'm like, I don't care. Because I know his brain is going, I have ADHD. My brain doesn't know what's going to happen 15 minutes from now.
You know what his brain's doing? Squirrel.
Yeah. But like, he's like, and you can go back to previous episodes. He's like, oh, I have a list of what we're going to talk about. And I'm like, bullshit, watch this. And then I get him, I say 3 words, and he was like, oh, motherfucker. And then like,
Well,
he's
he
in.
is.
But
You're the
podcasting
guy
is
that
fun.
says squirrel.
Yeah, but podcasting is fun because I've done video streaming, gaming streaming. It's all about one thing. It's about gaming.
Right.
We've never done a 2 fucking parts episode before.
I know, that's so cool. I'm stoked on that.
And yeah, and I mean, like, so now it's like we have done this for the first time, and
I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, we're gonna have so much room for activities.
But that's it. Like, podcasting is having, in my opinion, it's having fun. Yes, we watched Sean Ryan. His is talking to war heroes, stuff like that. So
A lot of spec ops guys.
stuff like that. Then you got Joe Rogan, where it's
A lot of potheads and a lot of
drugs
comedians.
and alcohol and whatever else you can come up with. But like, we just talk about what we want. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's hunting one, and it always revolves back around to fucking hunting.
It always does,
because we both do it.
at the end of the day, too, I think that's the whole deal with this podcast thing. If you're not passionate about what you talk about,
Yeah.
it's pointless.
Right.
You don't even need to try. And this is not to sound selfish. This is not for you. This is for me. I hope you enjoy it. I want you to get something out of it. I want you to give us enough input to keep it going.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's selfishly, it's kind of for us.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
this is a good outlet.
This is my guy time.
It is. It is. I don't have to be a dad. I don't have to be a husband. I don't have to worry about life, because we all know everybody worries about life.
Oh yeah.
Life is a fickle bitch that likes to kick you right in the nuts.
Repeatedly.
Trust
me.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
This is
My balls are sore.
Oh God, yeah. But this is time to just get away.
And the cool thing is like, I don't even care. Like, if we talk about something, I don't even care what someone's going to think about it.
No.
Because just so you people are aware, the people that hate it, thanks for the view. Thanks for the reaction whenever you disliked it. I mean, that's like, have you ever seen fucking,
hate mail is good mail.
have you ever
Because it's
seen
mail.
Straight Outta Compton? And they're like, man, I can't believe they're tearing up all them episodes and burning them. And then Eazy-E said, I don't give a fuck, they bought them motherfuckers.
They did.
You watching this for 15 seconds and you're like, God, these fuckers are stupid. You helped me. You gave me one more
I
view.
kind of hope you watch for more than 15 seconds, though, because I think we're kind of cool.
Yeah, we can be funny. Just I haven't pissed him off yet. I've only ever done that once. It's over
I'm
a
pretty
fucking
easy going.
Allen wrench. But
You brought it back, though.
I did.
I mean,
Not my fault. You had a bad day.
I was just grumpy. A
But
little sand in the
I would like to get some, and we're gonna have to figure out how to make it work. I'm gonna have to do some more rearranging somewhere. I don't know how we would get another person in here.
Oh, we're gonna have.
I would like to get like Mitch.
Yeah.
Get him out here. We tried Gavin. Gavin, you a bitch. But
He was more interested in playing video games.
yeah, Fortnite for life.
Yeah. But we're going to do it, I promise. I know we've mentioned it in other episodes. We just got to get life to slow down.
Oh god.
So we've got
Because
more
you-
time
you-
for
you're
the
in
whole.
prime wrestling season.
Oh, I'm in wrestling season with my youngest. We got trips planned out the ears.
Yes.
And work and life and just everything. But I have a buddy that's really good at what he does, and I think will be a really interesting episode. We're going to make that happen too. I have talked to him. We're going to go around his schedule. It's going to be off location. It's not going to be in the cabin, which, once again, this is probably the most ideal thing we could possibly have. When we started talking about doing a podcast, I was like, we need a place where we don't have interruptions. We don't have kids going, Dad, I need this, or Dad, I need that, or our wives telling us to hold it down or quit talking so loud or whatever. I am very fortunate to have this hunting cabin that nobody uses except during hunting season. So during hunting season, we're probably going to have some special guests just because they're staying here.
Poker night.
Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you, I've got some cool buddies from Arkansas that have got some great stories that are going to be great episodes coming up. Going to be September-ish. Maybe. No, I don't know. The spring turkey's kind of screwed up this year in Kansas. They're not gonna do out of state. They're not gonna do out of state tags because
I knew they were getting rid of something.
population's so down. See, there's another squirrel moment. It's all back hunting. But yeah, residents are only gonna get one tag this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Turkey hunting so long.
Oh God, I love it. There's
Oh, I-
nothing
I-
better
I-
than shooting
I-
a thunder chicken.
I love it.
And if you get close enough to them, you can hear them drumming right before they gobble. You hear them fucking filling up before they gobble. So cool. Dude, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it. But, so, they may be up.
We have a lot of plans.
We have a lot
You
of
just-
plans. We just gotta find,
Be patient.
we have to find the time to make
Yeah.
everything work accordingly.
Luckily, we have cool lives.
Oh, yeah. I
Because
have the
if,
best.
because if they weren't cool, we wouldn't be able to do this.
No.
I mean, if we did today, though, I'm like, hey, you might want to fill out your old lady. I'm going to go, like, text mine and see how, like, this
We
is
did.
going to go.
I was
He-
like,
and he
can
was
we
like,
do
so we
this
good?
tonight? And she's like, thumbs up.
And I was like, do we got plans?
And he got the thumbs up, and I'm like, you know what? I think we should take advantage, get done what we can get done, drink a few beers. It turned out pretty good.
Yep.
And if you don't think so, feel free to comment.
Oh, fuck. That was longer than the first
How long is this one?
An hour?
Oh, wow. But yeah, if you don't feel like this is going in the right direction, feel free to comment. If you feel like it's going in the right direction, feel free to comment as well. Like, I just want to...
All feedback is good feedback.
It is. It is.
Whether it's negative or not.
If you're getting feedback, you're watching. And I can make my hand disappear.
All right.
And I can make it reappear.
So to wrap
and then
this-
disappear again.
To wrap this crazy two-part series up,
For sure.
it was wild.
It was.
But we hope you enjoyed it wherever you may be watching from. We're kind of sticking to Fridays. I'm sticking
We
with
are.
Fridays because thanks to YouTube, they recommend that in our general area, and so anywhere between 4 and 5 o'clock Fridays. Kind of
Right.
wait till people get off work. I understand we did the early morning thing; it didn't quite work out so well.
Right.
But we're trying. We're gonna get hats done. We're gonna get other ideas. Like we said, we just need time.
We're going to
'Cause-
get patches put on them. They're going to be cool.
He's got trips, and then I have a trip coming up in a month and a half. I mean,
Like, follow, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
yep. OnlyFans is on the way.
No. We're going to call it Only Stands.
But yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a wild trip, and we're gonna be on the next one. Just like I said in the last video, it's weird because we're weird. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's weird in their own way.
Next episode, he'll be here. So will I.
Yep.
We love you all. Have a great one. God bless. Peace out. Fuck it, we're done. Cut this shit off. I got beating.
Oh, my fucking mouse is off.
Still recording. Damn it.